It was AEW Beach Break, and AEW managed to break the stranglehold that NXT currently had over it in the ratings battle. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. Some good news for AEW Dynamite. Yes, believe it or not, this week Dynamite did in fact defeat NXT, and it's been a long time since Dynamite was rated higher than an episode of NXT. You actually have to go all the way back to 2024. Yes, not even this year has Dynamite beat NXT, and in fact it is the second week of November 2024, so just over 6 months ago, that this show, this All Elite Wrestling, this flagship show for Dynamite, has defeated the third brand in NXT. But Tony, All Elite Wrestling, Moxley, you name it, they got over the line eventually.
It's not quite 83 weeks, but I tell you what, Tony Khan, hope it has the same outcome as that. He might end up on top against the developmental brand.
He might end up on top, but they ended up on top this week, and that's the important thing for them. There was a 13-minute overrun for anybody that's into that kind of stuff now.
Well, I was watching.
Well, you were there, sitting there. It was a good show.
I was not there. No,
well, there you go. You weren't there.
Good show. No.
No, right. Well, I mean, you know.
You know what? Taz's tribute to Sabu, it was quite emotional.
You can't have everything in life, right? So, and you know what? I'm going to guarantee you Taz's tribute was more emotional and probably did feel more heartfelt than Cole's and McAfee, right? And people are going to go, yeah, but obviously Taz was his... Well, why not WWE have Paul Heyman do one for him?
I know.
You know, if they fucking cared. Or actually put a... Like, they showed like this little package where it was just clips of Sabu, but stills. You know, like what on WWE? Like, why not actually do what they done with like Eddie Guerrero and, you know, get a nice wee sad song or whatever and show, or have people talk about him? But no, they don't do that. They, you know what I mean? They show you a still image and then fucking have Michael Cole run his mouth for a minute.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Pat McAfee wasn't yeeting during the fucking Sabu thing.
Hammer,
Pat McAfee.
Hammer, Saddle.
Anyway, right, let's get into the AEW Dynamite ratings here. Rest in peace, Sabu. May 14th, 682,000 viewers watched Dynamite. Still not great. Still under 700k. It's still been, I believe now, we're getting close to a year since Dynamite last did 700k,
Scary,
I believe.
But this was close.
Yeah, but this was close. I mean, I think it's been about 8 months since Dynamite did 700k, but this was pretty close. 682,000 and a key demo of 0.17. Now, that means this viewership is up 8% on last week. Last week they did 629,000. So we have a nice wee gain of 53,000 viewers. And in the key demo, last week obviously was down as well. This week a 0.17. This week a 0.16. So up 6% in the key demo. If you look at the viewership for the last 4 trailing weeks, it's on average 601,000. Now that wasn't helped by one episode that did bad and dipped under 600k. But, you know, outside of that, I think AEW has been heading in the right direction.
No, it has been heading in the right direction, and you know what though? At least AEW, like, they did fire everybody on this show, but as much as we bury Tony Khan in this company, you do feel like you get everybody on a Dynamite for their roster. You don't think so?
No, you do.
WWE, it's like the last time it felt like we got everybody was the Netflix premiere. And it was shit.
It was shit, wasn't it? Dynamite was ranked number 3 for the night on cable in the 18 to 49 key demo. The NBA playoff game between the Knicks and the Celtics on TNT was number 1. We had 1.44 in the key demo. A lot higher than Dynamite's 0.17, but whatever. And the Panthers versus the Maple Leafs on ESPN was number 2 with a 0.3. So, yeah, not that far off the number 2 spot, and it is the highest total viewership for Dynamite since September 2025, and it's the highest key demo since April 9th 2025. So yeah, highest viewership since September 25th, you know, so it's a while ago, like I say, about 8 months.
That is ages ago.
Yeah.
Look how much changes in the scheme of things, man.
Well, a lot changes, but I mean, like I did say, it was 8 months, I think, since they last did 700k, and this is the highest viewership and since September 24, so you're talking about 8 months there. It's been a while. If you look at the ratings, though, I do think you've seen a slight improvement. Obviously, they had that really bad show towards the end of April where they dipped down close to like 500k. Apart from that, though, there's been signs. I mean, they did have that 5-week growth from mid-February heading into April where they got, like I said, 5 weeks in a row of growth. So it's not great, but
then they dropped the ball pretty much immediately, straight after that.
True, but what I would say is I look at 2023 and I look at 2024. Is there not like a common trend where the ratings were kind of going down in the early months? Whereas if you look at 2025, I mean, we're seeing the ratings kind of like go up or at least stay the same.
Yeah, but what you could argue is that
there's less people, so it's harder to lose. No, I get that, but is it fair to say that AEW stopped the rot? Do you think that AEW, that like around 600k, that's about as bad as they're going to go? Because we're wondering what the core audience is for AEW. Do you think they're at that right now, or do you think we could see in a year AEW being rough, hitting 500k every episode and then going into 400,000?
I think it can get lower. I don't think there's any. Honestly, the decline in
obviously it can get lower, but do you think it will get lower, or do you think this is about it?
I think it will get lower.
So you think that, right, okay. Right.
Well, I think it will get lower due to the fact is everybody was on this show. It was a main event world title match and a steel cage match. There's going to be worse shows than this, make no mistake about it.
Well, I think Tony needs to get the paycheck out and I don't know, pay some fucking money. Anyway, right, where were we here? So in terms of the fuse, what did the best? It was the Bedlam. John Cena and Samoa Joe go to war in a steel cage. 564,000 views. So, pretty decent there. Over 500,000 in about a day. In about 24 hours.
That is decent. And you know what? As much as he should have lost it, he does well in the clips, Moxley.
Yeah, he does do pretty well in the clips. You got to give him that. Second place, Mina Shirakiwa pins AEW Women's World Champion Toni Storm in an eliminator match. 143k. Higher than, let's say, for example, Obafemi on NXT with 1 day less to garner the fuse. I think when you look at these kind of numbers, it shows you that. Well, actually, no, sorry, that was third place. I totally forgot about the Bobby Lashley thing. Bobby Lashley giving MJF the thumbs up, saying that he's in. I got 343k. Again, I think another solid number. Smokes anything on NXT.
At least that's him in now, though, and they're not repeating the same pish every week, which it felt like they were doing there for a wee bit often.
But the point is, smokes anything on NXT, and I would say probably higher than some of the stuff we've seen from Raw this week.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Look at the status stuff on Raw. I mean, what are you getting? Look at SmackDown for Axiom, and barely can scrape 200k. And that's what we mean when we say you can flip the rosters and not much would change. But the things that would change is, naturally with WWE, you're going to draw less. So if Axiom can't get 200k on SmackDown, what are they going to get on AEW? They're going to get Diddy numbers. And the proof is in the pudding, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Penta's match with Chad Gable just got 302,000. And he's supposed to be the big fucking draw. He's supposed to be the big star. And that's for 3 days ago.
Yeah.
And we're already, seeing here.
I think a true reflection of the WWE numbers there is that, WWE's tribute to Sabu did 315. Well, AEW's did 75 there.
73k.
73. So to me, that sums it up because they're both tributes, and obviously, but Taz one is so much better than Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. I mean, the guy was near green.
2 days less as well.
2 days less. But, he had to get patted in the back by Excalibur. I think that AEW's just naturally going to draw less than WWE. It's fact. I mean, the subscriber count alone, the proof's in the pudding.
Yeah, no, that would show that. Third place, Mina Shirakiwa pinning Toni Storm. Fourth place, Friends or Foes, Will Ospreay and Hangman Page battle the Don Callis family, 140k. Fifth place, we have Nigel McGuinness steps back into the ring. I think he got a move taken to him by FTR.
What is the fetish with him and Nick Aldis?
Yeah, it's disgusting.
People wanting them both in the ring.
Then we had No Quit. Ricochet takes out a tenacious Zach Gowen, 88k. And last but not least, we had They Hurt People. Hurt Syndicate take out Top Flight, 679k. So there's your number there. There's your ratings there. But I mean, good week for Dynamite, beating NXT, getting close to that 700k territory. Pretty good main event. What's there to say?
Well, I mean, Gabe Kidd coming out, I just don't get. Someone commented in our feed saying he is like the British Stone Cold. Well, where's the ratings like Stone Cold then? I know they beat NXT, but come on, guys. No, but back to Nick Aldis and Niles McGee. What is the hype about these guys? There's a few people on our channel that like them, right? But we are talking about two guys that when they were in their prime were nobodies. So see when they're well into their 40s, why am I supposed to care? The rumour is that Randy Orton's facing Nick Aldis at SummerSlam. Why? What has Randy Orton done to deserve that? No, like in all seriousness.
No, he's done fuck all.
Yeah, so why does Nick Aldis deserve to be on a match on the big night 2 New Jersey SummerSlam?
I don't know, but I just want to compare some SmackDown numbers, by the way, to AEW numbers. So, like we said, AEW, you got almost 600k for that steel cage match. You had the MJF thing getting in, almost 350k. Just compared to some of the stuff that you see on SmackDown, Andrade and Rey Fenix versus Los Garza got 194,000, and that's 6 days ago.
Yeah.
Compared to Dynamite's 24 hours. So that's had 6 times the amount of time to garner views, under 200k. Fraxium pinned the Street Profits, 186k, under 200k. Fraxium challenged the Street Profits to an impromptu match, 158k. Just shite numbers here. Rey Fenix is ambushed by Legado del Fantasma backstage, 158k. The huge star, the draw, the one and only, the guy that's going to change the company, Aleister Black, defeated Carmelo Hayes, and he hit The Miz with Black Mass, and you know what? He only got 277k. So, I mean, these numbers across the board, just shite. Nia Jax steals a win over Jade Cargill after she attacked by Naomi. 277k. What's your thoughts on these SmackDown numbers?
Disgusting. But again, no surprise, we're not coming across big-headed when we say it, but literally all these ratings to do with like guys coming from AEW or people returning or whatever, they always drop off.
Do you not think like WWE, if there's like a dozen guys that like are probably worth something to the company, then pretty much everyone else is interchangeable?
Absolutely. But it's like Aleister Black comes out and he's cutting promos like, yeah, it'd be easy for me to come out and say this and say that, and it's going to be different than the last time I was being here. It's the exact same, mate. I love the fact he's trying to paint this picture in promos that he's different. Your views are the same, no one cares, you're just 5 years older. That's it. There's no gimmick change, there's no nothing. You might have a few more shitey tattoos on you, like, but don't really care about your wee colouring book Ponzi scheme going on there, buddy.
Do you get excited for Aleister Black?
I don't get excited for anything in wrestling, so Aleister Black's at the bottom of that list, my friend.
I think that's probably fair. So that's probably where we will end it, guys. Yeah, just wrestling's a bad place, isn't it, man?
It is. It needs...
Oh, it needs a life injection of blood or something.
It needs a blood transfusion.
Needs some poison. Inject the NW, inject the poison.
I think Hogan and Bischoff's company's got a start date for August, so sooner rather than later. But
I'm still not sure what it is. It sounds like a fucking actual mat wrestling style company, which I'm no interest in seeing. It seemed more like some form of like shitey version of UFC when it started.
True, but
UFC when it first started was weird. You had all these like different styles of fighters. You had wrestlers and like jiu-jitsu guys and all this.
Do you not think if it is like UFC / Brawl for All with Bischoff, Hogan and guys like that cutting promos, it probably would easily be the best thing wrestling wise?
Tell you what, you mentioned Brawl for All, right? I don't think any company would do a Brawl for All, but could we have a Brawl for All event made up of wrestlers? You look at like shows, you've seen anybody put on shows. Maybe you had those like thriller shows where they had like the triangle ring, and you've got Trump there on commentary. You've got I think Metallica there, or were they just? I think Metallica. Did Metallica show up for that? I don't know.
Evander Holyfield was there.
Evander Holyfield was fighting Victor Belfort. Is it possible that you could get somebody with money that maybe goes and gets like 16 attitude error guys or ruthless aggression error guys or whatnot, or even 8, and just puts them in a brawl for all style tournament. It's like a pay-per-view. I would pay to watch that. Would you not?
No, I would, but it doesn't need to be attitude there. I mean, they're all old, let's face it.
No, but
even
you
this
want...
fucking current era, I'd take 8 guys getting wung in.
Yeah, but their contracts and shit. Who are you getting? That's my point.
Well, the people have been released. Fuck, there's enough of them. Braun Strowman against Trevor Lee.
What about fucking Shayna Baszler in a bikini brawl for all?
I don't want to see that.
No?
No.
No?
I want to turn into Daredevil.
I can't see, man. Look, there's shit you could do. There definitely is.
There is, guys, but there's also other shit you can do other than watch wrestling.
Sleep.
Kill yourself.
And on that note, guys, I think it's bedtime. Till next time. Peace.